All right, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I would like to welcome you to Pastoring Without Tears. My name is Anu Ojo. Well, it's been quite a while. I think it's like 3 weeks since we've been on this show. The 3 weeks ago, we had some technical issues. We couldn't come out live. The next week, we had the Embassy of God Church 25th anniversary. And then the next week, we had the History Makers training on system building. And here we are today. I'm so pleased to be with you today, and I'm appreciative of your presence with us this evening. Please, as you join us on Facebook, I would like to encourage you to share this link on your timeline. And also, if you belong to groups, it would be a great one if you could share today's video to the groups that you belong to, and you could suggest this video to your friends by sending it to their inboxes. I always say that it will be good that you don't just send the video so they don't perceive it as a spam, but it would be good if you can say 1 or 2 words or a sentence about the video to give them some sort of expectation so that they can know what to expect in this video or what they can learn in this video. All right, so welcome to our YouTube viewers. I know you're with us also. As you join us on YouTube, please share this video on your social media platforms. You could just copy the link or share the link on your YouTube, and also you could get people to join us today. This is Pastoring Without Tears show. If you're just joining us for the first time and you don't know what to expect in this show, I would like to say that this is that special show on Dr. Sunday Adelaja's platform where the truths, the values, the principles of the kingdom are taught and are released to the body of Christ because, you know, God has sent us on a mission, on an assignment on this earth. And the will of the Father is that his kingdom come on earth as it is in heaven, and his will be established here on earth. But we can't fulfill the Great Commission. We can't fulfill the will of God if we are not equipped and if we don't know how to. And that's exactly what you get in this show, in this episode. You get taught how we can actually bring the kingdom of God on earth, how we can expand the kingdom of God, how we can impose the values, the culture of the kingdom, how we can transform this world so that the dream of God will be materialized, that this kingdom will become the kingdom of our God and his son, Jesus Christ. So that's exactly what this program is about. It's Pastoring Without Tears, but many people have said, well, this program is beyond pastoring as a title in the church, but this is actually a program that we've learned how to live without tears. So many people have said it's living without tears, because what you would learn today would be very instrumental in the fulfillment of your calling and in the purpose of God for your life. And on that note, I would once again like to welcome you again. This is Pastoring Without Tears. Please, as you join, I would like to encourage you to share, invite your friend. As you all know that I'm not alone in this program. I have Dr. Sunday Adelaja, who is my constant, I think is a partner in this. I wouldn't say he's a guest anyways, but he's a partner. We do this show together. So I'd like to introduce and give you the opportunity to see Dr. Sunday. He's here with us. Good evening, Dr. Sunday.
Hello, bless you.
Thank you so much, sir. I was saying that it's been 3 weeks we've been on this show. I don't know if they noticed, but I definitely noticed. Being the host of the show, and we've had a lot of things between the last time that we had the show and today. A lot of activities, a lot of feats have been achieved, and a lot of products have been released to our world. And I think now the onus is on us who are opportuned at this point in time to get a hold of these teachings, to make use of it, and to fulfill the heart cry and to fulfill the will of God as regards system building. more importantly. And interestingly, today we are having the subject on how important is system building in ministry. How important is system building in ministry? But I'll first like to jump in to tell our viewers who are watching that today's show, you can call in. So we're going to be receiving calls as we progress in today's conversation, meaning just right now, if you want to contribute, you could write to us on by going to Facebook Messenger and search for Move Agent. So Move Agent on Facebook Messenger, search for us and write to us that you'd like to call in to contribute, because what we're discussing today, if you followed us at the History Makers training, I'm sure you can answer this question. Because this question, it is no longer a mysterious kind of question. It is not a question that only Dr. Sunday can answer. I think it's a question that everybody who followed the training that ended last week, Friday, can answer and even give explanation as to the importance of system building in ministry. So if you're interested in sharing your thoughts on this subject, on system building, please, we would definitely be excited to have you share your thoughts on the importance of system building in ministry. And like you can see there is no limit to it. Ministry, not just pastoral. So ministry, purpose. How important is system building in ministry? All right, Dr. Sunday, I would like to start by asking you a question because I know you love questions. And I was listening to a video recently, and a person asked, what kind of quality do you like in people? And one of the things that you said was, well, I like people who are hungry. I like people who are desperate for answers. I like people who are ready to learn. And the only way I can know that they are hungry, desperate to learn, is by asking questions. So
by the questions they ask.
Yeah, by the questions they ask. So I would start by asking you a question. The more you release your products, the more you release of yourself, of what you have developed in you, the clearer it is for anyone who has eyes and can see that many of the things you've achieved in your life as an individual and as a ministry is not as mysterious as we used to think. It is, many of us, of which I definitely fell victim, was to think that there is some sort of special anointing that you have, or some sort of supernatural endowments given to only you to achieve the results that you've achieved as an individual and also as a ministry. But I think this last HMT you had and you taught on system building, anyone, like I said, who has eyes and can see and can analyze what you give out would discover that, well, your results are not mysterious, and there are things that we could learn and we could also replicate or some sort duplicate. Now my question to you is, you've known all this while, and you've been opportune to interact with leaders, church leaders. But how is it that you, as a pastor who knows all this, and you practice all this, and some leaders have come to you, they've sat with you, they've asked you questions, and even many of them maybe perhaps brag about what you're doing. But you as an individual, what is it like to have the solution to the problems of the church as a whole in fulfilling the Great Commission, and maybe people are not necessarily interested in receiving that message, or you've not had that opportunity to release it as you did for this HMT? How has it been for you carrying that solution in you for all these years and not being able to release it to, I would specifically say, to the world? I know definitely you've done it to the Ukrainians, but to the world as you did in this History Makers training.
Thank you very much. The answer is simple. The answer to that question is in the words of King Solomon, that says that it is in those kind of situations that you find out that there is sorrow in wisdom. Because when you see and look around you, you see the way things have been done, the way people are doing things ministry-wise, and you know that you have the solution. Yeah. You have answers, and you could actually help them and help them do things better. But since they are not, but they are busy, they think they are doing the right thing, or they are so sure they are doing the right thing, and then there are so many and you are the only one. And people will think that, so either you are proud, or that, you are trying to tell them that they don't know anything, or so you just keep quiet. So to be quiet, that is where the sorrow is, because you could have been able to offer something or do better and give solution and lead people out and to a better way and better solution. But you have to keep quiet. So that process of keeping quiet, when you see other people really missing it and losing road or missing road, and you can actually help them, that is where the sorrow in wisdom is. So you have wisdom on one hand, but it's supposed to make you happy. But the sorrow part of it is that people are not demanding for it, and you have to keep it into yourself. That is where the sorrow of wisdom is.
Wow, the sorrow.
So that is the way I normally feel.
And I think one of the things that you've always taught us is the power of conversion, and you've been able to convert those sorrows into into a whole heap of books, and with over 7,000 videos that you have on your YouTube channel, where now anyone who is interested in wanting to learn can get those books and also can listen to your videos. But then the other part of it is when you say some things. For example, I remember you made a statement at some point that made people really go ballistic on you, and I guess you're already used to it anyways. When you made a statement that people should forget that Jesus Christ is not coming anytime soon. And people were like all over you that this man has missed it, this man is just out of the road. But then with this subject of system building, and me having my light bulb moment that this is actually the missing link, that until the church and until the body of Christ understands system building, and not just understand system building, but are able to implement it, then we should forget about Jesus Christ coming anytime soon, because he had already said it, that until the message of the kingdom is witnessed, or there's a witness of it all over the world, then you won't be coming back soon. So when you make those kind of statements, you get a lot of backlash from people. And the question that I would like to ask on that premise is that those statements that you make and the backlash that people give when you make those kind of statements, how do you feel as an individual when people now come back and say, Dr. Sunday, you made this statement 2 years ago and I fought against it. I do understand it, but now when you explain so and so, or you explain this area, now I get it. How do you feel? On the flip side, the first question I asked was, how do you feel when people don't get it? And you talked about sorrow, but now, how do you feel when it's like maybe people are getting this message, they're understanding it?
First of all, I say to myself, well, thank God that at least this one person has discovered that life is a school. So I just tell myself that you don't blame them, because we're all learning in life, and the person is learning, and the person, thank God, has come to this discovery. So I pray. The second feeling I have is wanting to pray for others who are yet to have the same light bulb moment, that God should also help other people to have an understanding that I have. But you see, the problem is not that people don't get or don't have the knowledge or the wisdom that you have, but some people, the fact that people resist it or fight it and even criminalize you, or they try to implicate you that you are not just wrong, but that you are in error.
Yeah, and that's really where the issue is. All right, so dear viewers, I would come back to Dr. Sunday with some more questions, but I would quickly like to announce once again that if you like to call into the studio to contribute, today is going to be some sort of open conversation, because the subject we're doing is not entirely new. Dr. Sunday, we just completed the History Makers training on how to build systems for national transformation, and we are opening the line from we opened the line since we started, and the line is open right now for anyone who would like to contribute to this discussion on how important is system building in ministry. So if you like to call in,
maybe from their feedback from the HMT.
Of your feedback from the HMT, it would be great to have you contribute. So please, for you to contribute, and this applies to those of you who are watching us on YouTube and those who are watching us on Facebook, you need to go to Facebook Messenger and search for Move Agents, and then write to us that you would like to call in, and we would call you as soon as we get your message. So Move Agents, Facebook Messenger, and then we will call you. There's a video I have. I would like us to watch the video. It just gives a preamble to how Dr. Sunday came across systems and some things that he said about system building. It's an old video, but I think we can get some things from it. So we'll have the video, and then I will get back to you. Stay tuned.
How you came up with the idea for systems, and how do you how do you teach the systems, or can you teach these systems to leaders, developing leaders on your platform, on your live broadcast?
On my live broadcast, I might not be able to teach it because I will need to be drawing a lot of things, and it takes a lot of drawing, illustrations, calculations to teach about system building. So that will not be possible on live broadcast. But I've already done it on a live broadcast, in the sense that I was in a classroom teaching that class, and I was being filmed. So that way it could be possible. So, but not the way I'm doing directly live broadcast. But if I'm just in the room and it's being broadcasted, and they could go, anybody who's asking that question could actually go to the list of my messages, over 500 messages that are recorded on my blog and YouTube. They could go and search out in the playlist HMT teachings, HMT series, and there they could find the teaching on systems. So how did I come across it? I didn't come across it one day. It's not something that is written somewhere in one place or that you could just go and read a book. What happened? It's a journey of my life that I was a good student in the university, doing well, and basically the best student, doing better than all my my fellow students. But when I started working and started a church, I discovered that even though the church was doing very well, that when I got to like 200 people, that I needed to build system. I discovered that it was not enough. I couldn't cover all the people coming. I couldn't reach out and really be able to attend to everybody. So I knew that there was a need for system. And that happened also when we were 500, then when we were 1,000, then when we were 2,000, 3,000, 4,000. So I kept on meeting the challenge that I get stalled. And when the old system is obsolete. So I kept on, I used to pray about it, but there are some things that you don't pray about. There are some things that you just need to know what to do. So, but God was merciful upon me, because as I was praying one time, God said, you need to change. If you are stalled and you stop, your growth stops, it means that, you have come to the end of yourself. You need more knowledge, or you need to change, one of the two. So I just knew that I need to come up with a system of running the church without using my feet and my hands running up and down. We should be able to develop a system that's independent of me, will be able to run the system. So, and I discovered that, being from Africa, this was not my strong point. I was strong in many other areas, but not in this one. So I began to look for knowledge and understanding in this regard. So I started searching for wisdom, knowledge. I started reading more about structures, about administration, about management, about administrating, and so I think all different kind of knowledge accumulated to me being able to now understand the topic and making myself an expert in it.
Good. I think this person also wants to know if there's any kind of brief description or some points that you can give them about producing leaders, or maybe a system for doing that.
I think the bulk of what I want to get, you've said it already. Well, the first thing I would like to say, and I think I would like to appreciate you for that, is you made a statement when she asked you, how did you come across, or how did you get to the knowledge of the importance of system building, or how did you get it? And you said it was not something that you came by just one day, and it was not something that you there was a book that you read the book and you got it, or there was a video that you went and you understood it. But I mean, we can't say that anymore. We can't say that anymore, because can we have the book on system building, please? We can't say that anymore, because right here is a book that you'd never had, and you had to go through a lot of research here and there, trying to find a book that would teach you how to build systems. Yeah, but now we have a book that can teach us what system building is, and even beyond having a book, we have hours upon hours of teachings on how to build systems. So with that, I don't think we have any excuse anymore. I don't think we have any excuse anymore. But then, I said I want to appreciate you for that. It is because what you did have, you presented to the world to have it, and I think I've learned that from you. In many areas, areas where you lacked knowledge, or you were like, nobody taught me this, You just convert it into a book, or you convert it into a teaching or a training or something like that. I mean, it's interesting. I would like to ask you, that mindset or that value, where do you get it from? Yeah, just give us your the word would be, yeah, where you coming from, what influence, or yeah, where you coming from, what informs that kind of response to things, because the world that we live in, they don't function like you. And I'll tell you why I am asking that question, so that I know you're like, okay, this question is so simple, but I know why I'm asking the question, because the world we live in is that people go through hard times to find gold, and they keep that gold. They don't get gold and then teach people how to get that gold easily. But you hustled, you worked hard, and then you struck gold, and then you now decided to just draw a map to and give it to everybody that, okay, this is the path to getting gold. So that's a different value system. And that's what I'm asking, that where is it coming from, so that people can know the source and they can understand why you're doing what you're doing.
There are some things that come to you as an accumulation of so many things.
Okay.
So there is no way for me to be able to sit down here and say, oh, this is when it came to me, this is when I got it, or this is how it came. Because it's a combination of all different process of growth and process of change, process of discovery that is taking a lifetime. So this particular question now, the very first thing, that is a combination of many, many principles for me to become like this. It is you that is seeing at the end results, Pastor Sunday like this, as one person that acts like this, that behaves like this. You see the end product. It's just like a car. When you see a car, you see one car, an end product. But actually in that car, you have 26 or 46,000 elements and parts and things that have been that have gone through a lane of production. And assembly plant is a whole lane, a chain of a value chain. So that's like me. What you see at the end is you are just privileged. But for me, it took me maybe 40 years to come to evolve and become like that. To answer that question, I could say the first time that principle started, a particle of that principle started forming in me was when I was 16. Another part of that principle that I will remember, another principle another truth, another element of that principle that was formed in me was 19. Then another time, another particle of the truth, which is making it a whole thing that you are seeing now, was 20 when I was 25, no, 26, actually 27. So it was 27. Then from that 27 till 47, or till now, let's say till 40, 45, 40. That is how all these things were forming me to be able to have the end result that you are talking about.
All right. Okay, Phil, I'd like to ask you, at those, because what you gave was you gave the ages that this happened. You didn't
process. I enumerated the process. Yes.
Yeah, but you didn't speak on the details of what happened in 16, 19, and 27. All of that.
Yes.
Have you given it out before somewhere that people can find it? Maybe.
No, it's going to be a long process.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because it's not so important how I came about those things. You know, it's a lifetime journey. That's what I'm trying to say. Yeah. Mm-hmm. But the most important thing for you people is that you now have somebody. Yes, and you now have the result and the ability that somebody is there, that you now have the result that you can behave like that. I couldn't saw anybody or anything like that in one
place, like you said.
Yeah, but you can have it now. So that's what matters. But me, it took me a whole lifetime.
Yeah, and I remember what you used to say about a book, that a book will offer to you in one day or in few hours what the author learns in like years of life, and that's what we
That's
get
what mentorship offers too. And so what I'm doing right now is mentorship.
in mentorship.
So it took a mentor a lifetime, and I'm giving you out in a minute.
Yeah. Well, all right. I thank you so much, Dr. Sunday. I learned that we have a caller. So, yeah, or we have few callers. So, as soon as we have one, please just let's get them into the show. Before we have our caller, we have a book here that is titled "Am I Ready to Become a Husband?" It is the latest release by Dr. Sunday. Am I ready to be a husband? I think it's a book that people need
To
to
become, yeah.
Yeah, am I ready to become a husband? I think I will say some few things about the book later. But let's have the caller if he or she is ready. Are we good? All right. Hello. Okay, not yet. All right. So let me just share some things. I was privileged to work on this book. Am I ready to become a husband? And I remember Dr. Sunday was saying that people were demanding, okay, you've released. Am I ready to be am I ready to become a wife? What about the book? Am I ready to become a husband? And all right. So we have a caller now, right? Okay. Hello, caller.
Bonjour, James and Dr. Arnold.
Ah, bonjour, Mr. Innocent. Comment ça va?
Ça va très bien.
All right.
Good
I was
day.
watching the topic and I was just smiling because I think there was a time I shared with you how I broke up. This is a very important point I want to make. That I broke up from Christianity. After that, it was Islam, then Judaism. And during this Judaism process, there was this rabbi that I discovered. His name is Rabbi Daniel Lapin. If people want to search for him, Daniel Lapin. Lapin is Lapin.
Yeah,
So
I know him very well. He teaches on business and things like that.
exactly. I knew that you knew him. He wrote a book about the secret of business in the Bible. The secret. And there was one of the most important points he made was about Jacob living to heaven when he was about to die. Instead of calling his children and saying, "Come, let me pray for you," he instead told each of the child their strong point, where they are strong in. He gave them that this is your blessings, this will be your calling, this will be your assignment, this will be your duty, and through this duty you will succeed in life. So that was how different houses, the house of those tithe collectors were established, and different groups were all established in the Jewish family, and that tradition continued till today among the Jews. And some of them are very successful because they understood the secret of establishing your business and understanding your talent. So when I saw one of our brother, the Raphai's this thing recently, how he made this point about you. He said that you said that Jesus Christ is not coming in Tanzania. He found out a little bit controversial. He was worried about it. But what he failed to do was that he didn't went further to understand why you say that. That was why I was amazed. I said, this brother has been following you for a very long time, but he has failed to understand me, that I'm even not even passionate about this whole religious stuff. But I understood when you spoke like that. I could get the point. I could see it. Why am I speaking about this is that people are so tied to the old doctrine, the system that has been set for them. They are so indoctrinated into it that it's so hard for them to free it. If at all you really want to change your life, you really want to make progress, you first of all have to break away from the old system that you were taught. Because if you observe right now, everything we have been taught, every single thing in Nigeria currently is wrong. Because we are seeing the result in our society that we are not progressing. A lot of things that people are frustrated, people are depressed, people are so you have to ask yourself questions. What is going on? Are we thinking right? Are we doing things rightly? Nigerians are trying to run away from their country. Why? So if you're still proud of the old culture, proud of the old traditions, you don't want to break away from it, you know that your life, you'll be bound to failure. So seeing people accusing DSA of something that is already obvious in the Bible, is obvious in the teaching, and there are a lot of people speaking about it. And our people, most especially the so-called Christians who come to follow your teaching and then come back to misinterpret everything, to vilify you and all those things, is really, really, I don't know how to explain this, but what is important about it is that you did not just, after I read that book, I was just listening to you a few minutes ago, I started asking myself, Innocent, you read this thing, so what have you done with it? Like, the difference between understanding, knowing these things, that you learned them, you didn't just learn them, you applied them in your life. You make them, you practice it, you make it practical, and the result is shown fully to be by the works, by your history, by what you did, the life you transform. So it's not just about learning about all these principles, but after learning them, what do you do with them? What do you do with them? That's the question. So that's my contribution.
Beautiful. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Innocent. It's always good to have Innocent calling. It's very interesting that many people tag him an atheist and all of that. But when you hear Innocent speak, it sounds more like it sounds even more Christian-like, and having even like more some sort of good understanding of what you're preaching and what you're saying. But well, I think it's always a function of people's desire and what they have in their heart. If they are ready to learn, if they are ready to receive, and like the Innocent said, we've been taught a lot of garbage over the years. Let's face it. And for us to receive the new, we must let go of the old. Like, it's almost impossible for us to receive that new wine, that fresh message, and still want to maintain the old. But we have another caller right now. Good evening, caller.
Good afternoon, DSA.
Hello, Pastor Alfred.
Yes, sir.
Thank you for calling today.
Thank you. It's always a pleasure. Hello, Dr. Ojo.
Hello, sir. Thank you for calling. Yeah.
Good to have you guys.
Thank you.
Yeah, DSA, I just was following in the background. First of all, this topic about system is, to me, is monumental. It's like the mother of it all. Yeah.
I think it's the grandmother of it all.
Yes, it's the grandmother of it all, because, you know what I mean? It's it really breaks down everything, processes, how you have done the things that you have done. I started the book, I'm on its way going, and it has a lot in there that, but the system by itself, that you put it in writing. I remember when you were talking about the book, you said there have never been anything like that. And I know I haven't been the best of readers, but I don't think there is really anything like that has been written. It's a combination of a whole lot of research that you put into that. And then it's not just theory, it is practical. If anybody were to go back and look at the HMT that just passed and see how practical this is with what is going on in Ukraine, and it's not just you, but it's the rest of the church. And then you see how system is implemented. You see examples, people who have been your disciples coming from different places and testifying. So that system is huge. DSA, while this program was going on, or for a little while, I've been thinking. So I said, let me ask this question. And I think this is a good forum, because this is pastoring without tears. I said, there are other pastors worldwide who could be silently listening to you, but their problem is they don't know how to proceed, because their source of finance is pretty much the tithe and the offering. So now when they hear you have a series on tithe, which is contrary to what has been preached in the churches. So they just kind of turn off like, nah, I can't do that because if I do that, my building will go under foreclosure. And then, pretty much the establishment will fold. So now the question that I want to ask, if you can help throw some light. I mean, me following you, I pretty much can see a lot of things that could be done, but I'm saying if you can throw some light, like there's a pastor now saying, listen, I have a little church going on now. My source of finance is my tithe and offering. And then if I were to go start preaching and telling people that this is what you should do with your tithe, the income will immediately drop. I don't have no savings. And so the church will probably close down. It's not going to be a good reputation for me as a church in the community and all of that. So how do I even proceed? So that was just something I'm thinking. I said, maybe you can throw some light to help some people out.
Thank you so much. I will answer.
welcome.
I will try to answer the question. Number
Thank you,
one,
DSA.
number one, people who have listened carefully to my teachings on tithe and offering, we know that I don't outrightly condemn or cancel tithe and offering. I just said tithe is an Old Testament doctrine. It is not required in the New Testament, so it doesn't attract a curse. It doesn't attract a curse because it is not compulsory for the New Testament believers. Jesus didn't take a tithe. The disciples never took a tithe. The church never collected tithe in the New Testament. So it is not a New Testament doctrine. So no curses or blessing because of tithe. But in the New Testament, we are taught to give. And offerings are encouraged in the New Testament. Now, what is the essence of offering? Offering is you giving back to God a certain amount or a certain portion of whatsoever God has blessed you with. Now, that certain portion, you could measure it and put it in percentage. Like you could say, okay, it is 10% you are going to be given, or 2%, or 1%, or 20%, or 50%, or 25%, or 30%. So in that sense, tithe, if you are giving it only as a measurement for you to be disciplined in your giving and to know that this is the certain percentage that I want to be giving, 10%, and that is the way you understand tithe, then it's a good thing. So if you teach your church that way, that they are free, it's not a curse, and they are not doing it because of the law, but it's just a way to discipline themselves about their giving. They could put it at 1%, 2%, 10%, or 20%, 25%. So if that is the way if that is the term you are using for tithe, not as a law, but as your willful offering, then, there is nothing bad in that. I pay tithe still, but not as 10%. I pay, but I use the word tithe just to describe the discipline and the stability of what I give. But my tithe is 25%. And it has been like that since 25 years. And I'm not stopping it. I didn't stop it. It's 25% we always give. It's not 10%. And it's not because it's compulsory. Nowhere is it written that we should give 25%. But this is just an act of love for God and an act of discipline. So that is where we put the percentage in. So that is on one hand, if you are a pastor. Teach your people that they are not under the law anymore. Teach your people that they are not going to be cursed. Secondly, I also teach that if you believe in your pastor, in the way they spend, or in your church, the church leadership of your church, the way they spend the money, if you see where the money is going to, why not bring the offerings or the percentage you want to bring it to the church? So I'm not stopping or fighting against giving or tithe and offering in that sense. So if you have belief and you see what the church is doing with it, you have to give and support the work. If you believe in the work that the church is doing. So it could be 10%, it could be 20%, but you are not doing it under law or obligation. That is second. Thirdly, if you are a pastor, if your people really believe in what you are doing and they see your efforts and they see where the money is going to, and you need the help and you reach out to them and ask that, this is what we want to use this money for. Can you support? And you are giving of yourself to them. I don't think that will be a problem. I think those people who believe in you, who see the way you live, who see where the money is going to, will be willing to give even more than 10%. But it will be a willing offering, not a law kind of compulsion that is this, being of the threat of curses and things like that. So that's basically what my teaching is about tithe.
Yep. Thank you for the clarification once again, Dr. Sunday. You've clarified this like many times on your stance on tithe and offering and everything, but people would hear what they want to hear. But it's good that Pastor Alfred asked that question, because that's a very sincere question, because money is always an issue. It has always been an issue, and it is an issue, and I think it will continually be an issue for a vast majority of people in ministry. But we had a show actually on Pastoring Without Tears a few weeks back, or maybe some months back, and it was titled "No Money, What's Next?" And I remember Dr. Sunday was addressing the issue of finance. Okay, what happens when you don't have enough money and you need money to carry on your ministry and things like that. So I'm just saying this for people to know that we've actually addressed the issue of money to a very large extent on Pastoring Without Tears, and it is titled "No Money, What's Next?" So all right, so we have a caller. Hello, caller.
Hello.
Good.
Hello, DRC.
Yes, good evening. Who is calling, please?
Yeah. This is Apostle Favor Martins calling from Delta State, Nigeria.
Okay, can you make the speaker come closer to your mouth or speak directly to the telephone?
Yeah. This is Favor Martins calling from Delta State, Nigeria.
Apostle Favor, yes. How are you today?
Yeah, I'm fine. The great man. I don't know where to start from, but I want to comment on that book, System Building.
System building, yes.
Yes, that book is something else, and I'm just praying that you should make that book available in Nigeria. That book needs to be flooded in the market, in Nigeria market, in all bookshop, all areas, because a lot of people are missing, and with that alone, I think that is one of the things the Nigeria church is missing. I make a research. There is only one man that teach about system building in his church, and I believe that man copied that package from me. That is Sam Adeyemi.
Oh yeah,
He
himself.
He's the only one that teach about.
He himself talks that he's my friend, but he says he listens constantly to my teachings, and they help him to make adjustments.
Yes, he's a wise man. He's a wise man. He's the wise man. If we have you, Samadeyemi, in this country, I believe that it will take up to 10 years for Nigeria to become great.
Yes.
You understand? Because as I talk to you now, the churches in Nigeria is depopulated right now because a lot of people are beginning to ask questions, critical questions.
Wow.
So, and this, people begin to ask questions, even in churches. I do interview a lot of them. When I go out, I talk to them. They say, no, that all these things is becoming too much. A lady came to my office yesterday, and she was saying that imagine how days in the week when I'm working. A program, short program. You go all night, evening program every day without teaching them this value system building. At the time of these pastors, because they keep on repeating. It's just like somebody eating apple and egusi soup every day, apple and egusi soup every day, apple and egusi soup every day. The people will get tired. And now, the reason why most the church, many of them are thinking that there is an antichrist, because this revolution message is strange to their ear. They have not heard it before. And they are seeing something different from the very first time. They say, since I started listening to you, my life has changed spiritually, physically, in all aspects. It was when I started listening to you, I got married. All the ones I've been going to the market to go and pray, the relationship will just collapse. But when I called you showed me the principle to follow, and I applied it. It didn't take up to 2 months. My wife came. We got married.
Glory to God.
I did not pray. I did not go to
mountain.
I did not bind. In short, I did not bind any devil, any demon.
You did not sow. You did not sow any seed.
I did not sow any seed. I was wondering. I did not sow any seed. I didn't even fast and pray. Everything just came naturally. That was where my faith now increased in you. When they were talking, I would tell people that go to your Google or go to YouTube, go and listen to Dr. Sunday Adelaja. You don't need to. God has made all things beautiful for us. But these pastors will keep on telling us that you need to come and fast and pray, come to online, come to this Wednesday service, church. All these are just format for them to be collecting osusu every Sunday, every week. But I tell you myself is a testimony. My business, I opened the first company, I opened the second company. Listen to you now, I'm opening the third company now with COC, and they are functioning. My God, I preach all the time when I go, but it's not like the way I do carry it like in those days. Come and sow seed, come and do this, come and fast and pray, bring bottle up and Sam, I can't remember when I bought this Gloria oil or anointing oil last. What they call it. I did not. In short, I was telling my father-in-law, I said, you will not see any bottle of anointing oil in my house or anything anointing water. Because God has been so faithful. When I wake up in the morning, I give him praise. I pray for people. Or he said, by the time you begin to look for people that I need and begin to solve their problem, God naturally will take care of you.
Yes.
That has been my secret. So when I saw this book, I said, this is a time bomb. This is a time bomb. We need to make this book available in Nigeria. Nigeria, some of them love reading so much, but they are confused to read books because the only book that they knows is the book written by the GO. Breakthrough, financial breakthrough, miracle marriage, this, that. And you keep on reading this book for 10 years, and your life still remains the same. There's no transformation. Since I started reading all your books, I begin to see life. I begin to see life. When I saw this book, system building, I said, I'm going to beg DSA, whatever it will take, let's make the price very, beat down the price and flood this book into the market. Nigeria will change. That is one of the things Nigeria is missing. Many of us, we don't know how to build system. That's why our business, marriage, everything is collapsing. If we know how to build system, oh man, Nigeria will be great again, sir.
Yes.
Nigeria will be great again. I'm appealing that book should make available in the market. That book should come. They should flood that book because these are the things. You know, information is power, sir. But the people who get some of these Jews, let me shock you. Some of these pastors, they listen to your message. And when they go back to their church, they will not twist it. That I was praying, God now showed me this is what I will do. This is what I will do. It's a lie. They listen to your message because they know that the truth is bitter. They don't want to tell their members that it was Dr. Sunday Adelaja that they listen to. So they come, they listen to your message every day. So we should make this book, all your materials, all the books you've released, we should make them available in all the bookstands. Sometimes if I'm coming from Onitsha from Lagos to Delaware, I check all the bookshop. I can't find most of your books there. The only one I see in those their bookshop is a short shift and pastoring without tears. Those are the only books I see in most of the bookshops in town. So we should make your books available in Nigeria. Once they get this book, I tell you, sir, we've taken over, sir. I want to, and that HMT that just passed now, man, sir. That HMT is one of its kind. That HMT is powerful. I still want that HMT program to repeat itself online every day again because people, it's something else, sir. I want to recommend. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you so much, Apostle Favor. Blessings.
Yeah, God bless you. Yeah.
Well, he got a wife even without reading the book yet. Now, what would then happen when you finish reading the book? Am I ready to become a husband? Although it's for husbands also, not just for people who want to marry. You wanted to say something about the book?
Yeah, well, he was also talking about the fact that in 2 months he got a wife, and I was imagining. I don't know the principles that you said to him, but I'm just thinking about this book. Am I ready to become a husband? I mean, it is a book really because there are many things that we do in life. I mean, just reading most of your books or all your books, I discovered that there are many things that we do in life that we're not conscious of and we're not prepared for. We just go with our instincts. So we just trust our instincts. We trust whatever model we've seen. Either it's a good model or it's a bad model. We don't care. But this was how it was done. That's how we do it. And I mean, we don't prepare for many things that we get into, and that's the reason why many things that we do, we're not successful in it. And that's giving an example of marriage. I'm ready to become a husband. You know, you had a program with Victor, and I remember you asking Victor that, okay, now I'll ask you. This question is for you. Are you ready to be a husband? And I remember Victor was saying that, okay, well, he has not read the book, so he cannot give an answer. But even I who worked on the book, I'll boldly say, no, I'm not ready to be a husband. Because, yeah, marriage is not for kids. And marriage is not for people who are old in age, but not matured in mind. This book gives a lot of details, and I would give more details after this caller. Hello, caller.
Yes, DSA and Dr. Anu. To hear your voice.
Pastor Tuka, you're sounding like.
Hello, sir. Good evening. It's Pastor Tuka.
Thank you. Yeah. Yes, thank you so much. You are doing so much a great work, liberating so many people.
You are able to follow the HMT this time, because I saw your letter.
Yes. I always follow. You know, yes, there is no other better thing to follow than the truth that is coming from you. So I always follow. So, but thank you so much for your labor of love to the world, and especially to Nigeria and the African community. I want to contribute in 3 areas: the church and the tithes. There is a problem of ignorance, and like we all see, the wrong foundation, because the churches, which we all belong to, or we all used to belong to, no longer is trusting God. It used to be that you go and do the work of God and trust God to provide for you.
and wait on the Lord to touch the people to support you. But, the church has evolved such that anyone that builds a church or, doing a pastoring or owns a church does not necessarily trust God for provision. Their hope is on tithes. So they go into the church, depending or looking forward to the tithes that will come into the ministry. And that's why they keep saying, without tithe, they cannot survive. And to me, with the understanding and the truth that is coming from your platform, that is not trusting God. That is not depending on God. That it means that the churches are making tithes as their God, as their source. And when you make something else other than God a source, there is bound to be a problem.
Yes.
And the reason you see that they cannot give up on lying about tithes, they will still, and they are still making it that, that we owe God. And God has commanded them as debt collector, and the debt is 10%, and we have to pay it to be a good Christian. So, Nigerian church or African church or pastors has to make God their source and not tithe their source.
Beautiful.
That's that. Then the second thing I want to talk about is, when you know the truth, then another problem begins, because people that are stuck in the mentality of church and the brainwashing that we have all been victim of, does not want to accept the truth. Two things: when it is outsiders that are resilient, that are opposing the truth, is simple. But it is more difficult when it is insiders, when it is your family, when it is your church member that wants to throw you out or want to say that you are in error. So, I was listening when you began talking about that, but I wasn't in the area where I had good internet, so I didn't follow up, but I will go back to listening more. So, on that area, I would like you to, give more clarity or clarification or advice onto as many that are going through things, because, the people on the inside will believe you need to carry them along. But if they are becoming too much of a weight, what is the advice that how can we deal with that situation? Then the third thing I want to talk about is the system. Oh, that is revolutionary. We have heard about this system, and one of the things that I begin to think about is that anybody who believes in this system building, who have gotten a little knowledge about this system building, should go ahead and attempt to build a system in their own level, in their own area of influence, no matter how little it is. Because sometimes we hear this system building and we are looking for somebody that will just come into Nigeria and then, create, something like an aeroplane system, or, one kind of chemical system, But it is not necessarily, it is not only as big things like that. All of us that are privy to this knowledge, can even go to our homes, our communities, our states, and begin to start, or attempt creating a system that can, sustain itself, and then we begin to see how this works. But other than that, it will always remain that, okay, like an engineer that goes to college to learn and get a degree, but never make any attempt to design anything, and even try to fail designing anything. So the system that you are talking about is something that all of us should own it. You know, like one thing I begin to look at, okay, if I have resources that I could give to somebody, you know, or to a foundation, how long can I be giving resources to a foundation? Now I'm not thinking, why don't I use maybe one of these resources and try to invest in anything that could be a system that can sustain itself, that I can enhance of myself, and I don't have to be giving resources to the things that I need to give, because I have succeeded in building a system that can take care of, you know, the things and those who have any resources, you know, that to begin to think of any little thing they can do with what they have to build a system that can sustain itself. So thank you so much at DSA for all that you are doing. You know, we are always learning. And I want to say that, you know, we may not call all the time, but we are doing our own little part. We are praying for you, and also please pray for us. Thank you, Dr. Anu, and everybody there. God bless you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Pastor.
Thank you so much. Yep, that's Pastor Tuka coming from the US. Before you called in, I was giving a feedback on the book, and I remember this book. Many people don't know, but this book has, close to 20 chapters.
What book?
The book, Am I ready to become a husband? I was giving a feedback on the book, Am I ready to become a husband? And this book, I think 20 or 21 chapters. You know, when I was working on the book, I'm like, there's so much that we need to do. It's not just something that you go in and you're just like, yeah, I think I'm of age, and I think there is a woman around who I'm attracted to, and let me get married to. But I mean, it's a whole list. Imagine having a book that has 21 chapters that just talks about you preparing for you to know that you're ready to become a husband. I mean, that's like a whole month. So if you're reading a chapter a day, that's like a real job. So marriage is not a joke.
Hello, DSA.
All right.
Hello, sir. Who is calling from where?
This is Pastor Harmony Gaffison calling from Cameroon.
Yes, Pastor Harmony. How are you doing today?
I'm fine, sir.
Your desire, your heart desire has been met with this system question.
Thank you so much, sir. Last week, after I went through the HMT live on Facebook, and I took some solitude with what I downloaded for the teachings, I brought my leaders together, and we began creating system already to reach our city.
Wow.
Immediately, because we were actually going out for evangelism, and I just discovered we never had a system, we never had a target. So when I listened to the program, and I discovered where we were failing, and we needed to make that adjustment immediately. Thank you so much.
Beautiful.
Good. The next thing I want to say is that I think that when we talk about system, it's not like the churches that we see today in Nigeria, in the world, doesn't have a system. But I think there are two kinds of system. We have a system where the leaders of the churches, actually, the system is built on manipulating people, in the sense that it's not built on making people become. Because actually they have a system. Maybe you go into the system which they have, you discover that it's not about making people become. But if I understand DSA very well, I would know that the system he is introducing and helping people to know is the system that makes people become. You know, Jesus said, follow me and I will make you. And I think that if all churches have that system of making people, giving will never be a problem. You know, like sometimes, I think Pastor Alfred asked a question, what happens if you begin a small church? And with respect to the things you are teaching on tithe, what happens if people don't give? But if my goal as a pastor is to empower the people, like what you did, I listened to your tape, you said you took over 2 years and raised 200 million years.
Yes.
If a pastor can do that, I think giving will not be a problem. And I think that the system you are introducing is a system that takes the ordinary man and makes the ordinary person a great entrepreneur, a great businessman, a great politician. At that level, giving will never be a problem. But if everybody come to church and they talk about giving for 5-15 years, people are not progressing, but the pastor is progressing, I think there will be a problem at that level. And that is why I know the system you are asking us to learn is completely different from the system that is already in places in different churches and denominations, because nearly every church has a system. But the system they have is not about to make people. Like Jesus said, follow me and I will make you. I think if everybody come to church so that the church can make them, the whole world will love to come to church. All those whose dreams were dashed, who they could not believe they can become something, will love to come to the church.
Yes.
Thank you so much. I think this is what we have to learn. And I've been actually putting this already into practice. And there is more that we are going to talk about. I wrote a letter, so that we can have kingdom fruit as you requested. I'm still waiting for the reply.
Oh, yeah. I sent it to my team. I think they will soon respond.
Okay, thank you so much. And thank you, Dr. Anu. I'm happy again to be watching you people live from Cameroon. Thank you.
Thank you. Blessings.
All right. Thank you from Cameroon. I mean, I think he's doing it the right way, already implementing it. I think that is what needs to be done. So it doesn't just stop at head knowledge, of which many people are very. That's what we're used to as maybe Nigerians. We get some messages. It gets us really excited. We're hyped about it. Our emotions are the ones that responds to that message. But getting to sit down, like he said, I think he said he had a solitude with the message, and after the solitude, then he began implementing it in his ministry. And I think we definitely should borrow a leaf from him to going into solitude with all of this, with the books, system building, the key to resolving every problem and attaining every goal. And the book, How to Find Money for Your Dreams. The book, Process is the New Result. Those 3 books, you combine those 3 books and you go into solitude with the teaching.
And the planner.
And then the planner, definitely. And the planner, the daily planner. And then you combine it with the HMT on systems, on solitude. I mean, I can only envisage what it's going to be like. I've not done it yet. But I plan to do it, and I want to see what will come out from that experience. Just going to lock yourself up and just soaking yourself with this book. Process is the New Result, system building, how to find money for your dreams, and the daily planner. Well, I mean, that is something out of the world.
Well, you have talking about the husband.
The husband book. I'm coming back to that.
Okay.
And when I was working on that book, I could see clearly that you always say, Dr. Sunday, there are many things that you say that we don't understand. And I think it's good that you've gotten used to it, and you know how to respond to it. Because I remember when you were saying that the vast majority of people who get into marriage have no business marrying. And I mean, when people talk about late marriage, not finding a woman, and they see it as a tragedy, and you're always like, what's wrong with these people? why are they seeing it as a tragedy? When I worked on this book, I could really see that, the kind of preparation that a man needs to do to convince himself that he's ready to be a husband, it's not a joke. Imagine 20 chapters of just preparation, what you have to work on. 20 chapters of things, and for those chapters, it's not like just one thing, like prepare like this. In each chapter, there are like other things that you have to work on to get a whole of that. For example, there's a chapter on I have to be intellectually prepared for marriage. Now, that is just the title of the chapter, but when you read the book, and read that chapter, you see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 things that you need to work on yourself for you to say, I'm ready to become a husband. If you really want to marry, maybe you begin to reconsider and begin to see the wisdom of Paul. and maybe the wisdom of Jesus. Maybe Jesus knew something, and that's why, although he lived for 33 years, you didn't see any need for him to get married. And even Paul was saying, I think it's better that you don't get married so that you be focused on the ministry. But I remember when he used to make statements like this. I mean, even sometimes I say it in my heart that, well, this man got married though. Because Sunday you're married, you have your wife, you have your children, and then you're saying that I mean, most people don't have any business getting married. But I didn't know where you're coming from. But reading this book and looking at all the preparations, I mean, the first part of the book that has to do with what a man has to do preparing himself. This is your preparing yourself, and that has a whole lot of chapters. And then how to prepare for your future wife. Is a huge task. And sometimes you even think that, is there any preparation for women to do? Because all the preparation, it looks like everything is for the man to prepare for.
Until you read the book.
Until you read the book.
Am I ready to become a wife?
Of which I told you I was reading.
Then you discover that maybe they are even having more preparations to do.
Yes. And that gives credence to what you said before, that for a successful marriage, it takes two personalities. It takes two people who are personalities themselves, two people who are already fulfilling their calling, two people who have an understanding of life, who have an understanding of their calling, the kingdom, and who are really prepared for the institution of marriage, for you to have a successful marriage. And many people are like that. They're very few. But why I would definitely give this book, for me as a young man, this is like, this book, Am I Ready to Become a Husband? It's a book that I think it would take me a time to come to answer.
The
yes.
process.
Yeah, because there are many things. I remember working on the book at some point. I had to put the book down. I think I told you that I was looking at the book and I got to a chapter. And when I got to that chapter, I just put the book down. I said, wait. So I really need to do this before I get married. I had to pause. I'm like, well, this is not a joke. Oh. And sometimes you just feel like it's better you don't even come across some things. It's better I never even read a book like this, and let me just know that I'm going into it with blindly. Well, for me to know that I need to do this before I approach a lady and tell her I want to marry her. It is.
You put the book down.
I put the book down. I just said.
Let it wait.
I said, anyway, let me process this. So this one,
just because of a woman.
Just because I want to marry you. Yeah.
And that is why we have all the calamities that we have all around, because people don't know these things. They don't get prepared. Yeah. Nobody tells them these things. True. People are not prepared. And so they don't know what marriage entails. But when we begin to prepare men, and men begin to be adequately prepared, then you will see quality. Standard marriages all around.
True. I mean, it's not a joke, really. I think this book is a book that is for men, you know. It's for men that want to get married, or men who are already married. But I think it's a book that women need to read. It's a book that parents,
especially young girls,
before they marry, they need to read, because
even parents, who have daughters,
true,
and who have sons need to read.
Yes, and just like many of your books, or even all your books that need that a curriculum needs to even be developed from it. And I think there's some people who have burdens for marriage and for training men. Yeah, this is the kind of book that you want to use to train real men, because as I worked on the book, I realized that, I mean, it's not even about just being a husband first. It's about being a real man.
A real human being.
A real human being, yes. Because it's one thing to prepare for marriage and to prepare to being, but being a husband is a different thing. But being a human being and being a real and authentic man, who is a man? And this is a man not just in relation to one woman who is his wife, but who is a man in the socium, who is a man in the environment where you are, preparing yourself to be a man. That is something that people don't even talk about it. And I thank God for the teaching that you had on family series. I don't know if anyone has discovered that family series.
Family series.
But that is one of the greatest treasures ever in this world, because anyone who sits down and listens to that family series, it's almost impossible for you to have a failed relationship.
Yeah.
It's almost impossible, because you would get a holistic understanding of relationship. Not just relationship with somebody, but relationship with yourself as an individual, maybe as a man or a woman. You know what it means to have a relationship with yourself. You know what it means to have a relationship with other people, common opposite sex. You understand what it means to be a man. You understand what it means to be a woman. You get the psychology of women, psychology of men,
children,
how to parent children. I mean, that series, family series, is something that everybody must actually listen to. You must listen to it, and it's easy for you to get it. Just go to Dr. Sunday Adelaja on YouTube and search for under the playlist. So you could just go click on the playlist or on the home page, either of them. You'd see the series titled Family Series, and you see a lot of videos there. So just sit down, listen, prepare for it, and combine it with this book, Am I Ready to Become a Husband?
There is another one now, Am I Ready to Become a Wife?
A wife, yes.
And we have that book, Am I Ready to Become a Wife, so that people don't say it's
only husband.
That they are discriminating against the men again. That they are always defending the woman.
Yeah. That the Am I Ready to Become a Wife is also a very huge book. I've read the book myself. And I was giving Dr. Sunday my review on the book, and I said, after I read Am I Ready to Become a Husband, and then I started reading Am I Ready to Become a Wife, yeah, it's very apparent that the work is on both parts. The work is on both parts. As the man is preparing hard, working hard on himself to becoming a real man, yeah, the lady too, she's not sleeping. She's also working hard on herself to becoming a wife and to becoming a real woman. So this is like a very good combo. Look at this combo. It's just beautiful. Dr. Sunday, you're giving people,
life tools.
Life tools. You shouldn't grope anymore in the dark. Look at these books. Am I ready to become a husband? And then the other book, Am I Ready to Become a Wife?
And these are not 30 pages books like charismatic.
Far from me. I was telling for the Am I Ready to Become a Husband, 20 chapters. It's not a joke. Yeah. But these are kind of books that we need in our world, Books that gives solutions to real life problems, to real life situations. And not just some theoretical books, but practical books that would give you solutions to this is what you need and this is how you can do it. Do you want to build a successful family? Do you want to prepare to be a very good husband? Just read this book and everything you need is in that book. And all these books are for free. I don't know. I don't know if you know these books, you can get them for free, but let me just tell you that you can get all these books for free on Amazon Kindle. Just subscribing to Amazon Kindle Unlimited, yeah. Amazon Kindle Unlimited. You can read all these books for free. Dr. Sunday puts all of these books for free on Kindle Unlimited. So for people to get it and for people to read. And if you also want to order for the books, you can order for it on Amazon or on Okada Books. And someone called in today and the person was suggesting that these books need to be all over Nigeria. And Dr. Sunday has given a call out for anyone who knows how
do it.
Yeah, who can do it. If you are skilled, you've built a very good system of marketing, you know how to spread the books and everything. I mean, write to dsasbooks@gmail.com and you can become a what's the word? Is it dispatcher?
Distributor.
A distributor. Good. You can become a distributor and you can also make ends meet for yourself. So if you are listening to us and you're in Nigeria and you know how to do this, and you know how to make these books flood the whole Nigeria, come on. The opportunity is there. Just write to dsasbooks@gmail.com and I would begin the process of getting these books out. I mean, Dr. Sunday, he has done the major task of writing the books. So it is for us to take responsibility to distribute them.
One of them just came from the publisher.
All right, so this book is titled, I think we've announced the book before, but this book is titled Truth, Non-Truth, and Lies. Truth, Non-Truth, and Lies. I think I was able to read the book to Dr. Sunday when you were doing the editing, and I discovered that one of the major things that you address in this book is related to family. You spoke extensively about the non-truth that is destroying a lot of families, and not just families, but even you definitely spoke about the church and the society. Well, that is the book, Truth, Non-Truth, and Lies. And I remember the series that you taught on truth and the truth series. That's another mind-blowing. I mean, almost every series that Dr. Sunday has is like it's like it's almost like the best. It just depends on
I asked recently I did a poll on Facebook because Okada Books, I became #1 author on Okada Book. On Okada Books, and so about 7 of my books became in the top 10. Almost 10% of the books are my books in the top 10 books. So we were saying, what is your own favorite book? So we were asking people to write their top 3 books. Mm-hmm. So people started writing their top 3 books. From top 3 books, we ended up having 41 titles.
Wow.
So which one? How will you now say the top book? 41, almost all the books. Everybody say it is this one as the best. Another one say it is this one as the best. Another one say it is this one as the best. So 41 titles, and it's still not everybody who got to see it though. Yeah. Just those ones who saw it. Yeah, it's 41 books. People are saying they are the best.
Yeah.
So which one is the best?
It's just like you're asking me now. If you ask me which of your books, I don't know. I'll be making a list of it. For example, when I worked on this book and I read this book like 5 times already, I'm like, this book is the book. Then I remember when I read
how to find money. How to find money
for your dreams. I'm like, well, this is the book. Then I read your book on discovering the purpose and calling of nations, and I'm like, is there any book that can be better than this book? This is the book. And then almost all your books.
So you read Nigeria and the
Leadership Question. I'm like, wow, what a book. I read Process is the New Result. I'm like, Lord, this book should be my Bible. Then I read The Law of Difference. I'm like, this is what everybody needs. Almost all your books. I read I'm a person, am I a personality? I'm like, nobody should die without reading this book to become a personality. Yeah. I mean, I can keep on listing all the books I've read, and I'm like, no, This is the book. I read your books on Nigeria, like the Nigeria economy,
The way forward,
and how Nigeria economy can
overtake America.
And I'm like, man, this is the book. Everybody must have a hold of this book, and that's how it is for all your books. It's almost like you can't read Dr. Sunday's book and not have that feeling like this is the book that everybody needs to get. I remember somebody reading the book. Someone read the book on how to read yourself of shallow-mindedness. And I think that was the only book the person read. And the person was like, no, this was the book that everybody was out.
Is that fighting for it?
And he's always fighting for that this is the book. Everybody must have this book. You must read. This is the problem of Nigeria.
How to read yourself.
Shallow-mindedness. And then
it's because you have not read, you are born
to make a nation great.
Or the death of nations.
I'm telling you, when I read the Death of Nations too, I'm like, wow. This book is, I mean, with this book, I just know exactly what I can do
with
Nigeria. And even I can raise politicians, I can raise people who have solved problems in politics by reading that book. And that's how all your books are. I don't know how you do it, but it's just fascinating that we can't just get enough of your books. I mean, this is not trying to, it's just real. I mean, and you did a poll, top 3 books and 41 titles, and I'm sure the percent of people that gave those responses will be less than 1% of people who have read the book.
Of course. Only the ones who saw the post.
Who saw the post.
And even you didn't write
I didn't write anything.
Maybe you didn't even see the post.
I actually didn't see it. So imagine just few people that wrote, and there are 41 titles.
That everybody is claiming is the best.
Best book.
41.
I mean,
you wrote something.
Yeah.
Positive. I was able to turn everything negative to positive. That's the best. Another one wrote and said, "No, who am I?
What am I here?"
Is the best. Another one said, "Who comes to your funeral?" Is the best.
I'll urgently become a workaholic.
Workaholic is the best.
This book on how to escape from Uncle Sam.
Yeah, another book is people are saying it's Uncle Sam. Somebody say money will make you rich. Some people are saying what to do with your time.
What to do with your time.
And other people are saying it is no one is better than you. Somebody says 7 tips to self-fulfillment.
How to build your secured financial future.
Yeah, only God can save
Nigeria what it means. So I just mentioned you the names.
All of them are the best. In fact, somebody wrote, "Am I ready to be able to become a wife?" Is the best.
It's also the best for her. Yeah. That's how it is. And you know, yeah. It's just a flood of books that you can soak yourself in and you'll never be able to catch up.
Somebody is saying it's Kingdom First that is the best.
Kingdom First, Church Second.
As other people say, no, it is a kingdom-driven life.
I've read all these books, and as I was mentioning the names, I'm just remembering how I felt when I was reading all these books. I mean, massive. It's just it's huge. Because this is how your books are. Your books, and I've told you that your books are, for example, system building. I just get a hold of system building. I read this book and I can become an expert in system building.
Mm-hmm. It's like you read 20 or 100
books on system building, and I just from this book I just become an expert in it. Or let's take this book. Am I ready to be a husband?
Yeah.
I take that book, and
it's like everything you need to know. Eh?
I just know what to do to prepare men. I can just start my whole ministry just from that one book. And
somebody says it's the plague of silence.
Mountain of ignorance. I remember someone giving feedback on Mountain of Ignorance, and the person was like, "No, this is exactly what the whole world needs." And then I remember when I read The Essence and Value of Life too, and I'm like, "Wow, this is the book." Until I read How to Win in Life.
Then you discover that no.
And I'm like, and the funny thing that these books are not, it's not like you are
don't even
repeating yourself.
Yeah, everyone is different.
Everyone is different.
Somebody said it's abundance life mindset
versus poverty mindset and abundance mindset. All your books. I'm just looking at it right now, right in front of me, and I'm like, Lord. Yeah.
Somebody said, no, let the heroes arise is the one.
I read a book last 2 weeks, and I just felt like, yeah, this is the book that anyone who really wants to make a difference in this life must read that book on Let the Heroes Arise. That's how I felt reading that book. And that was 2 weeks ago, until I started working on system building. I'm like, system building is the book for it. But anyone that wants to resolve any problem.
Some people will say his life is an opportunity.
Yeah. Life is an opportunity. And then the book, My Greatest Secrets.
Life's Greatest Secret. I think it's called...
Yeah, Life's Greatest Secrets, My Greatest
Discovery in Life, yeah.
Yeah.
Life's Greatest Secret.
Well, we could go on and on.
Some people will say his life is predictable.
Yeah, life is predictable. So, you have people also review that topic and it's almost all your books. And
some people will say his life is focus.
Yeah, how to keep your focus. I remember when I also read your book on discipline.
Yeah, discipline for personal and national
transformation. And I got a hold of that book and I'm like, wow.
And somebody will say, no, it's the dignity of labor. In fact, somebody says the dignity of labor.
That's it.
That if all Nigerians can read dignity of labor.
It's just very interesting how all your books are just, they are. I remember when I read, you could be the Abraham of your generation.
Yeah, the Abraham of your nation.
Of your nation, yeah.
If I say, what do you feel like I can do everything?
Yeah, I can father. I can. That's what I just said. Because from when I read that book, I'm like, yes. Nigeria is a very good starting point. But being a father for Africa,
yes,
you can father the world actually.
Yep.
Learning from the principles of Abraham, and I'm sure people are like, what are you guys talking about? Well, we're talking about Dr. Sunday's books. It's a huge disservice for you to do to yourself, to think that these books are just for sales. No. These books are, they're just...
I know somebody, for example, who is saying it's monoculturalism.
Yeah.
That is the
I
most...
remember, yeah.
Yes.
The book on monoculturalism.
Yes. And some people are saying, no, it is how Africans brought civilization
to the world.
To Europe.
To Europe, yeah. Wow. So you released and you released so much, but then I know that what you release is not even up to 5%, if not 5% of the titles that you have on your iPad. I remember you were showing me that day, and we were going on a walk, and you said, "Andrew, can you guess how many percent I've written and books?" And I'm like, "Okay, Pastor, maybe you've given."
Including books and videos. 7,000 videos.
And I was saying maybe you've given out some 20%. And he just said, well, I'm not even giving out 2%. And I said, Doctor, you say you've not given out 2%? It's unbelievable. We said,
and I'm already 50.
Yeah. And I'm like, no. So he said, don't believe me, don't worry. And when we get home, I will show you on my iPad. I will show you all of the titles. Just titles, not even the materials. Then we got home now. There was somebody brought his iPad. So he opened his iPad. He said, okay, so which one would you... which of the books do you want us to maybe work on or do next? Then I started.
What series?
Yeah, it was series. Yeah, it was series. And then I started with the first. Okay, one. Wow, this is interesting. I think this one is good. The first bit I read, first 10, first 20. I'm like, okay. Then when we got to number 50, I stopped choosing. I stopped choosing the one I think we should work on. Then we started flipping. I actually stopped reading because I started flipping 50, 100,
150.
yeah, 100, 200, 250, 300, 350, 400, 500, 600, 700, 800, 900, 1,000 plus.
That are not being talked about at all.
Yes, that you've not even spoken about. You've not even. I'm like, okay. You know, it is an Otik Paris situation.
Otik Paris situation.
It is an Otik Paris situation. I was like, wow, over 1,000 that you've not even talked about.
Series.
Yeah, series. Just titles. Not even subtitles that would come out, because, you know, for example, that's family series. You know, family series is just title. But on that family series, you know, you had how many videos?
Over 100.
Over 100 videos. So that's like. So you imagine just having titles like that. I'm like, no, yes, yeah. I'm like, I could not. At the end of the day, we didn't even fulfill what we wanted to do because because the agenda was for me to choose. I think I could not.
You got tired.
I couldn't even choose again. I know, DSA.
Just do anyone.
Yeah. Just be teaching that we give it out this time. It was overwhelming.
That's why you are the one who told me to just not to don't greet anybody.
Yeah, I remember I told you that, please, for this next recordings that you want to do, just go straight to the point. Just
30 minutes.
Just do it and record, release.
No
release.
greeting, no
calls,
nothing.
No calls, no everything. Just do and release. I know our generation will not even catch up. Now we can't even catch up with you. I think it's just for, like you always say, you're living for 300 years. I think right now we our opportunity to learn from you. We're just scratching the surface. The people who will be able to get even more of the product you're releasing are people who are going to be here 100 years after now, 200, 300 years if the Lord tarries. They're the ones who would really see that a human being was able to release all of these products and had given answers not for just his own time, but he was giving answers for the future. But yeah, and it's something really is an example worth emulating, worth learning from. That this is the life, this is how to live, and this is how God lived, this is how Jesus lived. And
you're asking me at what time, at what moment?
Yeah, no, definitely. I was not asking at the moment. I was asking where you're coming from, because I know that it was never a moment time. At that one, I know that all of this was not a moment. I think I've learned that, and I can't ask the question about what moment. The kind of question I'll ask is that where are you coming from, to give us an understanding of your perspective or your worldview or your standpoint. But to ask about what moments, I know that it's definitely, it never happened once. It is a cumulation. Process. Yeah, it's a process. It's a cumulation of many, many factors and many life situations. All right, so, well, guys.
I still have to come back in 15,
yeah, you have to come back in 10 minutes, right, for your teaching right now on salvation, redemption, and being born again. So,
and it was I think Victor who were doing a program yesterday.
Yeah.
So when I told him that series is going to be for 1 month,
he said,
what?
It's not the same.
Salvation, redemption. I listened to Phil there. He said we're going to be for
a whole month. Yeah.
He said in churches one message.
It's okay. Jesus died for you, and that's it.
He rose from the dead.
He rose from the dead. Jesus came, he died, and he rose from the dead, and and you are saved.
Now what are you going to be talking about for 1 month?
Salvation.
Every day.
Yeah. But yeah. Dr. Sunday. Well,
I always told you now.
I
always told you.
You told me.
It has to be done in such a way that anybody who pass by later on will not have anything to do.
You have anything more to say? And that that principle is a big principle, Dr. Sunday. Mm-hmm. And I don't know how many people can really live up to that principle, to do something that in a way that no one before you has done it. No one right now living in your generation will do it or is doing it the way you're doing it, and even no one after you
will ever even be able to surpass it.
Will be able to surpass it. Like raising the bar to that is like raising the standard in a way that anyone that wants to do it would know that you have to pay both sweat and blood to achieve it. And imagine talking about salvation, and you're talking about salvation and redemption for a whole month. For a whole month it's only Dr. Sunday that can do something like that, because most pastors will just give a message,
5 minutes message,
5 minutes message, and they were like, "Wow, that's deep."
Revelation, Rema.
Well, with Dr. Sunday, you actually don't even shout Rema, because I was in a Pentecostal settings, and I know how we used to shout Rema from one person that just does one message, but with Dr. Sunday,
everything is Rema.
Yeah,
so how many times will you shout?
If you want to shout Rema, you say Rema, 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 Rema. That's how it will be. Rema, 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 Rema. You were looking for Rema, 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 Rema. Every sentence you're saying Rema, 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 Rema. You will just miss out the whole thing. For Dr. Sunday, you just sit down, just be listening. Okay. Wow. Okay. They are just making notes, writing down. That's how it is. Because you've I don't know, but it's something that the whole world needs to. You're worth studying. Like when we need to sit down and study every area. Okay, this is Dr. Sunday. How is it that he takes one subject, like for example, truth, and he says truth series, and then he teaches on truth for
a month,
a whole month on just truth.
45 messages,
45 videos on just truth. That is not truth.
You shall know the truth.
Or you shall know the truth.
And the truth shall set
you free.
Nobody says anything more than that.
Yeah.
Or I am the way, the truth,
and the life.
Finish that.
If you need to, that's it.
So who does a series on truth?
On truth. Or love series.
That's 2 months.
Love. It's not the same love. I love you, you love me.
For God so loved
the world. God so loved the world.
And 2 months.
And 2 months on love.
Every day. And not 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 30 minutes.
No. Well, let me just give an announcement. We could keep on talking on this. I would just like to just say this to our viewers quickly. Dr. Sunday has a YouTube channel, just in case you don't know. And there was a letter written by someone who said that Dr. Sunday's YouTube channel has become his home. Well, what the person was
where he's living.
Yeah, where he's living. Just that the person doesn't just know that there are a lot of people who are living there too. And just
it's not the only one.
Just in case you want to know, I'm also a tenant. So we are co-tenants with them.
We are all Scotland.
Yeah,
what they call them.
We're all settling there. We live there. Some of us have even built houses there. Some of us are landlords. They are landlords.
In that YouTube channel.
Yeah. We are landlords there. Many people have even gotten many tenants. Now they've sold their houses and say, "Come and live here with me. This is where I'm living." Yeah, because that's Dr. Sunday's channel is a place that you can't get enough. So if that young man says or a woman says that Dr. Sunday's YouTube channel, that is Dr. Sunday Adelaja, has become his home, that is a home that you want to be. It's a place you want to be because it's a place where you find answers to all of your problems. It's a place you find solutions to questions that you've been asking. So I want to welcome you all. Please join me. I think I already have a piece of land in
a real estate,
and I'm creating a real estate on Dr. Sunday Adelaja's YouTube. So just
YouTube channel.
Yeah, YouTube channel. So in case if you want to join me there, it's free for all. I want to welcome you. Welcome to Dr. Sunday Adelaja YouTube channel, and let's go on an adventure. because that place is an adventure. We'll go on an adventure to discover and understand life. Are you there and you're asking questions about life? What is life? What is this life for? What is life about? Why am I here? What is this that I have now? If you want to join me in that adventure to unravel life, you're welcome. Let's go. Let's do it. And there is no way that you would come out of that YouTube channel and not have a grasp of life. Now, I always say that you hold life like this, and you say, yes, I have a full grasp of life. But it doesn't stop there, because many people know about God, they've heard about God, but to say that you know Him and to have
only a few people can say.
Yeah, a personal relationship, for you to confidently say that I know God, He is my friend, I talk to Him, I see Him every day, I can hug Him anytime I want to hug Him, I can hear from Him anytime I want to hear from Him. I am a friend of God. For you to be confident enough to say that anyone who is looking for God, they found an end to their search when they find me. Maybe you think it's impossible, but I want to welcome you to Dr. Sunday Adelaja's channel, because you would learn and you will understand God. Not the God that religion has taught you, not the God that culture has portrayed to you, but the real God. And for you to have that living intimacy, fellowship with Him, well, you're going to get that. So not only would you understand life, you're going to also understand God. But what would understanding life and understanding God do to me or do to you if you don't understand yourself? Many people who are plagued with what we call identity crisis. We don't know who we are as individuals. We don't know what we have. We don't know what makes us unique. Maybe you hear Dr. Sunday saying nobody's better than you, and you doubt that, and you're like, what does that mean? How would you say no one is better than me? I feel like I'm the worst person. I feel like I'm the unluckiest human being in the earth. But you don't know yourself. Well, that's another thing that I want to invite you to Dr. Sunday's channel to learn, to come and understand yourself. There is no way that you would come to that channel and you would not understand life, you will not understand God, and you understand yourself. So it is a holistic package on that channel. And the channel is Dr. Sunday Adelaja on YouTube. So I want to welcome you. Let's go on this journey together. Let's take a wonderful ride. Let's have that adventure on discovering and understanding life, discovering and understanding God, and discovering and understanding ourselves as individuals. And also, you could get all of Dr. Sunday's books free by subscribing to Amazon Kindle Unlimited. Subscribe for free, subscribe and get access to all of Dr. Sunday's books. And also, if you want to order for his books, on Okada Books, you can. If you want to order for it on Amazon, you can order for it to get a paperback. And if you want to order for Dr. Sunday's books, you want to be a distributor, you can write to us at dsasbooks@gmail.com. If you want to be a distributor, you want to order for a bulk of his books. All right, and that is the announcement I have, and I really look forward to many of you joining me in my house. And just in case you want to know my house, it is Dr. Sunday Adelaja on YouTube. All right, so I will be giving Dr.
Well, many people have made Kindle Unlimited their house too.
Well, definitely.
Did I show you the statistics?
Yeah, you showed me.
So they have at least about 1,000 every day. 1,000 pages people are reading a day.
Yeah, I think Amazon Kindle Unlimited has to, they're meant to contact us and And
20,000 every month.
yeah, the meant to say, come
For free.
How are you doing?
They were not buying the book, but they are reading
Yeah,
for
reading
free.
it, yeah, for free. Yeah, and I live there. I have it every day.
You have it too.
Every
So
day.
you have two addresses. One is a flat, one is a house.
Yeah.
Which one is a flat? Which one is a house?
What I would say, I made 2 flats. I didn't have
2
two
flats.
flats. Yeah. So that both of them is equal because if you think the book is where you want to live until you go and listen to some series and
then you run back.
Then you put book down base and then
run to the series
and then read. Write, listen. I was reading your book on system building, and I was reading your book on system building. And I saw something that made me go to listening to your teachings on thinking, analytical thinking.
Analytical, yeah. Thinking series.
The thinking series. And, I had to sit down again and
start
over again. And then also,
mind-storming.
Yeah, mind-storming. And then from there was a reference again to the HMT on questioning. And that one is also another list of videos on questioning how to question. Because without questioning, you can't build systems. So, and then conversion. So you don't want to make anyone flat house. You want to make equal. Flat. Or if it's house, you want to say house.
Both on Kindle Unlimited.
Or on YouTube channel. So, yeah, a lot of resources there that everyone can explore. Dr. Sunday, thank you. Over to you for your final words.
Well, what can I say? I'll be back in the next 10 minutes to talk about redemption, salvation, and being born again. So I hope you people are going to take advantage of the books and of the free offer, Kindle Unlimited, or you can buy them both on Okada Books and on Amazon, and also, of course, take advantage of the YouTube channels. So see you soon. Peace.